In response to the coronavirus pandemic, the healthcare officials are asking us to do something that does not come naturally to us. Social distancing, staying away from large gatherings and social contact is crucial for slowing down the spread of the virus and preventing the healthcare system from getting overwhelmed. But it's not very easy. What's up, you guys? It's Aditi. Welcome back to our channel. 2 weeks ago, I made a video on quarantine and the psychological effects of quarantine and how to deal with it. This video is not very different from that one, but the topic is different. You have already read the title, so you already know what I'm going to talk about. I don't need to break it down for you. But before we begin, let's just backtrack and see a part of that video and just for you to know what social distancing actually means. Social distancing is deliberately increasing the physical space between people to avoid spreading illness. Staying 3 to 6 feet, that is 1 to 2 meters, away from other people lessens your chances of catching communicable diseases like COVID-19. So this is what we are doing. We are social distancing. So we are working from home instead of going to offices. We are having online classes and schools and colleges are closed. We are not having any huge conferences or large meetings or weddings. So that's social distancing. इसका मतलब है स्पोर्ट शूज पहन के वॉक पे जाने का नहीं, सब्जी खरीदने की एक्सक्यूज से बाहर जाने का नहीं. Basically, just stay in the house. And I know, I get it, that we are not used to being cooped up in the house within four walls and it's overwhelming us. And there have been experiments on this. Like, there have been volunteers who have been kept within a small room with dark or artificial light, with a bed, a bathroom, and a fridge filled with food. So basically, they had all they needed to survive, and still they couldn't last in that room for longer than a week. And I'm gonna link a video down below, and as well I'll just put it here as well, of Vsauce. His YouTube original is called as Mindfield. He has all of these psychological experiments that he does on himself, and he talks to psychologists and everything. So he made a video on isolation, so you can check that out. I've not seen it, it's been a while, it's been at least a year I think, but it's a really good one. I'll link it down as well. We are not necessarily all alone because we live with our parents or grandparents or spouses and kids. Yet there are countless negative effects that social isolation and extreme isolation can have on our mind and bodies. Some of the side effects are changes in sleep cycle and hallucinations that are caused due to lack of brain stimulation. But why is isolation so difficult to withstand? Because humans are social creatures? Well, I wish the answer would be that simple. So I'm going to link a video of mine. This is how it looks like, to know more about why social isolation is so difficult and why do we humans need social interaction. Many people that have lived in the isolated environment, such as the researchers stationed in Antarctica, said that the most difficult part of the job was loneliness. Even Yossi Ginsberg, I'll put his name on the screen. He's an Israeli adventurer and an author, and he spent weeks alone in the Amazon, and he said that he suffered from loneliness the most, and hence he created imaginary friends to keep him company. Now that's something what Tom Hanks did, and he created Wilson in the movie Castaway. If you haven't seen the movie, then you should go watch it. But before I tell you how damaging loneliness can be, you need to know that loneliness is not synonymous with solitude or aloneness or isolation. Rather, loneliness is defined by people's level of satisfaction with being connected or the perceived social isolation. And the lockdown situation we are in right now is, well, it can cause loneliness, which can be damaging to our mental and physical health. Socially isolated people are less able to deal with stressful situations. They are more likely at risk of heart disease, depression, dementia. They may also have problems processing information, which can in turn lead to difficulties with decision making, memory storage, and recall. Even chronic social isolation can increase the risk of mortality by 29%. Now, this is because a person who is lonely is more susceptible to illness. Researchers have found that a lonely person's immune system responds differently to fighting viruses and hence is more likely to develop an illness. This may be because of social contacts that can buffer the negative impacts of stress. Just having a friend can reduce cardiovascular responses to a stressful task. There's even a correlation between perceived social connectedness and stressful responses. So, just knowing that you have a friend that you can count on when you need can dampen the whole responses that you have to stress. The impact of social isolation becomes worse when people are placed in physically isolating environments. I've already mentioned solitary confinement in my previous video. Now, solitary confinement is where a prisoner is kept in an isolated cell and is not allowed to have any contact. This does not seem like much of a punishment, but believe me, it deems to be the worst torture. The worst. She's right, it's the worst. The psychological negative impacts it has on prisoners includes significant anxiety and panic attacks, increased levels of paranoia, and being able to think less clearly. Even some of them deal with long-term health problems like PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, when held in isolation. There was this one case of an Austrian girl. I'll put her name on the screen. She was abducted when she was 10 and she was held captive in a closet for 8 years. So in her biography, she said that lack of light and human contact has mentally weakened her. So my other question is that who is possibly at risk? So kids, so people who are between 16 to 24 years, so basically young adults, women, people who are dealing with psychiatric illness, people who are older, so 65 to 70 years older, and people who have at least one child as opposed to having more or none. So these are mostly psychologically at risk. So reconnecting with other humans can reduce loneliness and help us restore the good mental and physical health. And for that, you don't need to leave the house. You can just video call your friends or your cousins, and instead of being on Netflix and YouTube, you can just get out of your room and talk to your family members. Go do that. That is it for today's video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share and subscribe to my channel and support me. And wait for the next video that's gonna come up next Friday. Till then, please stay safe, stay informed, and stay healthy.